Hey Stitch fam, welcome to my channel. My name is Corinne and you have found CoryCreates, where I talk about fiber arts including sewing, quilting, cross stitch, and I also touch a little bit on gardening. But anything creative that I do, this is where you will hear about it here. So thank you for joining me today. Today is Thursday, July 7th, 2022, and this is Flosstube number 4. So I am so glad to be back with you all today. I had every intention of doing another video before we went on vacation. That didn't happen, okay? But that's okay, because now I do have a lot to share with you today. I am gonna, as always, keep it as concise as I can. But as a pastor I had used to say, I'm not going to be before you long, but I am going to be before you strong. So hopefully I will be able to hold to that. Hope you all are having a great summer. Now, I don't know if my fellow teachers can relate, but as a teacher, I just feel like I spend the entire summer just trying to cram everything in. And this summer is no exception. I'll talk a little bit as I go through today about our trip to Jamaica. But outside of the trip, we're just trying to cram everything in. Okay, the kids are working, yes, both of them. My son is 10, but he's been mowing the lawns of the neighbor while they go on vacation. They've been a couple of times, so he's making money. Layla has started working, at one of those bouncy house places, the trampoline places where the kids come and spend all day rock climbing and doing all those things. She works there. And then we've been volunteering at the food pantry at church. My husband's been busy. Fraternity and sorority stuff we've been involved with and busy. So doctor's appointments, just trying to get all these doctor's appointments taken care of so you don't have to take off work to do them. So it just seems like the summer goes by so fast because we're so busy. But we did relax and have a good time on our trip to Jamaica. So I'll just kind of throw in some tidbits about that as I'm talking today. So what do I have to share with you today? I have 3 finishes. So some of the things that were previous WIPs are now finishes, so I will share those with you. I've got my current WIPs, which is only 2 or 3, and then I actually have some haul. I have been buying some things here and there since January, but I did actually make it into an LNS a couple of weeks ago while I was on vacation, so I'll tell you a little bit about that. I've got some patterns and charts that I'm in the process of kitting up that I might show towards the end. And then I have a few quilt WIPs, and I have some plans, and I have a giveaway, you all. So stay tuned till the end. I am gonna have a small giveaway for you all as a thank you for the many of you that have chosen to subscribe. So thank you, thank you, thank you. So we're gonna jump right in and start with my finishes. And the first one, you've seen it since the very first Flosstube, but it is now complete. This is A Ride to Dreamland by Stony Creek. I'm not even gonna show you the pamphlet anymore because it is finished, back stitching and all. So hopefully you all can see that. I enjoyed this. It really did not have as much as I thought it did to complete. It was mainly the back stitching, and that actually went pretty fast as well. It was a little difficult here in the saddle area. It was a little tight, and then this part of the mane. You all, I'm used to using Pattern Keeper, and so I had to go back to pencil and paper in order to do this one, and there's really no way for you to mark off your back stitching once you've done it. So that is A Ride to Dreamland, again by Stony Creek. I believe the title of the book was Magic Moments. But it is finished, and I think I'm going to attempt to frame this myself. This will probably be something that I put in my sewing room or someplace like that. So I think I'm going to make an attempt and try to frame this myself. But that is A Ride to Dreamland. Hopefully that's focused for you. And that is finish number 1. The next finish, I don't think I need my board for this one. This is the postal employee stitch that I was doing for my dad. It is finished as well. It is a Stony Creek. It's from a Stony Creek book, but that is finished. And all I had to do was back stitching. You all, it took me 1 day. I don't know why I was dragging my feet on this. Okay, it took me 1 evening, okay, sitting and watching. I was watching as I watch a baseball game every day. If the Cardinals are playing, I'm watching and I'm stitching. So I said, okay, the first 30 minutes of the game, I'm going to work on this. And all I really had to do was finish the truck. And then I had to do outline all of the eagle, U.S. mail, just this whole part that looks like a stamp. And then I had to do the border on the stamp. But literally, that was it. And it did not take any type of time. So I'm proud of that. I'm going to, this week, pull some fabrics to use because I'm going to make it as a stand-up. Okay, so I'm going to pull some fabrics this week and hopefully get started on the final finishing on this one. So that is the Postal Employee by Stony Creek. Now this next one I finished on the trip. Okay, so here is Friendship Begins. That's the name of the chart. And then the whole saying is friendship begins with kindness. I mainly chose this pattern because I like the teapot. I drink a lot of tea, so I like the teapot. But it is a cute little design. I enjoy doing it. New back stitching, which made it even more enjoyable. But this is Lizzie Kate. Friendship Begins. I believe I did this on a linen. It is a 28 count mystery linen that I did it on. Okay, I got a couple threads on there. Let me pick it back up. I'm not a big linen stitcher, but this kind of encouraged me a little bit not to be totally afraid of it. I wouldn't mind continuing using linen on smalls like this. This I think I'm going to make into a pillow. So I'm going to pull some fabrics for that also while I'm down there pulling for the Postal Employee. And I did not mention on the Postal Employee, 14 count white Ada, and then A Ride to Dreamland was 28 count Jobelin, either white or antique white, I'm not sure. So those are my 3 finishes. Super, super excited to have those done. I mentioned that I finished Friendship Begins with Kindness on the trip. And you all, I was working on it on the plane. I did take my Heaven and Earth design, which I'm getting ready to show you my progress on that. But you all, I was expecting to, be sitting next to my husband, having a conversation. On the flight from Dallas to Jamaica, which is where we left from, because we drove to Dallas, dropped our kids off with family, and then we headed on to Jamaica. You all, that was almost a 4-hour flight. Do you know they did not sit me next to my husband, the flight there and the flight home? They charge you now to sit with your party. I was fit to be tired. I said, so I'm going to be on this plane for 4 hours and I can't talk to my husband? Because both going and coming, he was at least 2 rows behind me for the entire trip. So your girl was not happy about that. But I was able to work on this. Okay, and I did finish it. I believe on the flight there was when I finished it. So those are my finishes. Now on to my whips. Okay, this first whip It's not really a WIP. Actually, it's a finish, but I'm bringing it back because I don't like one of the colors in it. This is Bless Our Family by Lizzie Kate. I obtained this pattern when I worked at the Needlework shop here in the St. Charles area. So this was maybe 10 years ago. But this is a Lizzie Kate snippet called Bless Our Family. I did this, I believe this is a 28 count, probably a summer khaki, even weave. And I love the finished product except for that green. Okay, let me see if I can hold this, show you what I mean. This green right here, where it says Bless Our, and then the green down here. And my lighting is funny today. Down here in the grass. It's not green enough for me, y'all. But I did include our wedding date, the year we got married, and our name. And I always struggle with putting our name on things. My last name is Person. So do I put the persons? I've always struggled with that. So I usually just tell people just put the persons. Okay. And I have a little button down there. I believe the button came with it. Let me back up, see if I can get it all in there again. But I'm going to change that green. The green on the trees is fine because those are obviously pine trees. But I need it to be a little grassier green, a little greener green. I was trying to obtain some, I believe it was steamed broccoli, because I know a lot of future projects I wanted to work on, I was going to need those. Because these threads that are used in this are Gentle Arts. So I was just gonna get some steamed broccoli, since I knew that was obviously green, and I was gonna use it on other things and see if I would like that better. But I have not been able to find it. The Needlework shop I went to recently did not have any. So I may just have to order it online if I can't find it anywhere. So that is Bless Our Family. It is coming back as a WIP because I'm determined to finish it with a different color green on the word Our and then the grass around the house. But that was a super easy stitch. I stitched it a long time ago, but I never finished it because I was not totally happy with the green. So I'm gonna rectify that and get that one finished. The next one I worked on, I did take this one on the trip. This is the first time I think I've worked on it since I showed it in my initial WIP parade. This is the Lakeside Tea and Cake sampler. Okay, it was a stitch along 3 or 4 years ago, but I waited until the stitch along was over before I got the chart. It is a free chart if you go to their Facebook page, and if you go to the files once you get accepted into the group. But it is the Lakeside Needleworks, and it was originally a stitch along, but I think in the files it's called Tea and Cake free chart or something like that. I took this along with me because I knew Friendship Begins was getting close. I mainly just worked up in that top middle section and this section down here at the bottom where I think it's a stack of teacups. I didn't realize it, but I had this in a little, my little strawberry bag. I had it in there, but I did not have all of the threads. I had some of the threads pulled, but not all. But I just love that color palette. It's a nice cheery color palette. Lots of pastels. So I only did what I was able to do with the colors that I had. I think I had some of the yellows, but I was missing one of the pinks and some of the greens, etc. So I was jumping around when I was working on it. So again, this is the Lakeside Needlecrafts. Everything I'm doing it as charted except for the border. That border was a DMC variegated pink floss. I just substituted that in instead to go along with everything else. So I just did a lot of jumping around with that. I think this one may end up being my work project. I'm probably going to need a couple of those this year. Just something I work on during my lunchtime. Take a break and work on this. It's small enough, and I think it'll just be a good project for that. So we will see. I'll see how much more I work on it this summer and go from there. So that is the Lakeside Needleworks chart. All right, the coup de grace, the Heaven and Earth Designs. And I took it out of the Q-Snap this time so you can kind of get a good idea of what it looks like. And I also wanted you to see how big it really was going to be. So this is Heaven and Earth Designs Vintage Baker by Aimee Stewart. It is being done on 25 count Lugana, 1 strand over 1 square. And I started up here in this top left hand corner. The stitch count on this is 650 by 464. So this is a big one. And the chart itself contains 90 colors. So I know we talked about, I know many of you have asked me about kind of going over how I tackle the Heaven and Earth design. I am going to do that in my next video. I will probably have it be like a Flosstube extra or 4.5, something like that, so you'll be able to know the difference. I just don't know how I'm going to do it yet as far as timing. I'm thinking though I may have to break it up into 2 videos. So let me show you where I am on this one, and then I'll kind of talk about it a little bit. I don't know if I'm going to be able to clip it to this board. I meant to get it bigger. Snap, got it. All right. Here are my stats, oops, where I am right now. In June, I did 5,144 stitches. So my total for the end of June was 10,145 because I did 5,000 in May as well. My goal was to tackle this pie. I did not get it completely finished, but I did have a page finish on the 23rd, and my page finish was on the beach, you all. So I was glad. If you follow me on Instagram, you can go over there and see my stitching on the beach, which I enjoyed doing. I know people were walking by, kept looking. Nobody said anything, but they just kept looking. And I was sitting out there on the beach. We had a beach at our resort. We enjoyed ourselves, but you all, at first we weren't too sure when we got there. We thought it was going to be a Chilligan's Island situation. And for those of you that watch the Martin show, just look up the Chilligan's Island episode if you don't know what I'm talking about. But we were a little, the Wi-Fi was terrible, you all, I have to say that. But it was just, we weren't sure. Is this going to be a nice place? We weren't sure, but everything turned out okay. And the things that we weren't happy with, you know what? We just made it work because we were enjoying just being together, just he and I. So yes, I was on the beach. I did my stitching. I did post those pictures over on Instagram. I did learn something about my husband, you all. We've been together 20 years. He doesn't do water. And I guess when I thought about it, we really hadn't been to the beach, but maybe one other time. We went to Mexico in 2015 and he didn't get in the water then. My husband was like, babe, I want you to get a 2-piece. I'm like, a 2-piece? Why? I'm not a 2-piece chick, but I indulged him. And we get out there, I had a 2-piece and a 1-piece. So we went 2 or 3 days. We get out there, you all, he got into the water up to his knees. The water kind of brushed the bottom of his swim shorts. That's it. I'm out there laying. I'm trying to, take it in. I'm not a big water person either. And I'm only going so far. But he got in one time because he wanted to get a close up taking my picture. And then he got back out and sat back in the chair. So I learned something new. I said to him, you don't want to get in the water? He said, I did get in the water. I said, babe, you got up to your knees. There was another couple earlier in the water. She was all hugged up on her man. I don't know if it was a husband or not. But he was on. I was like, I want to hug on you in the water. He did not get in, you all. So, hey, you learn something new every day about your spouse. So that is my Heaven and Earth designs. In July so far, I've done about 1,100 stitches. So I'm right at my total so far is 11,263, and that is a whopping 3.73%. So I'm gonna keep pressing on. I don't know how much I'm going to get done this month. We are still moving. The house should be going on the market hopefully next week, and we will see what happens. But let me open this up so you all can see the full piece. And I don't know, I didn't iron all this part that was under there, but I think it goes all the way over here where my finger is up on top. That's how wide it is. And then down here, it almost goes all the way to the bottom down here. So this is a big piece. And as you can see, I'm still progressing with the gridding. I did have to add some recently, but it's huge. And it's going well. I'm pleased with how it's going. And I'm looking forward to doing that Tackling a Heaven and Earth design video, and I am going to do my best to get that done this month. Next up, I have my haul. Like I said before, I buy things, but I buy things mostly to complete charts and projects that I already have going or want to start that I already possess. So I'm going to start off with a couple of new charts that I have purchased that I am excited about, but I've had them for a few months. I just have not kitted them up yet. But before I do that, here's my new project bag that my Heaven and Earth design project is living in. This is just a bag that I made. I love it. This bottom fabric came from Joann's, and that is what is on the back. And then as always, I try to look into the design and see what else is there. So this right here, there was some animal print, so that's why I chose this print. Plus I had like 3 or 4 fat quarters of this animal print. I don't know why I had so much, but that's why I picked that to go with it. I just put a little loop over here. Nice zipper. I haven't found a zipper pull yet that I like, but then I just lined it with just a plain black on black print. So that is my latest project bag. This one measures about 16 by maybe 15. I just need a bigger bag for the Heaven and Earth design, and I've decided to go away from the vinyl cover for that one because I want it to be able to expand out more, so I can do that better with a fabric bag. So that is my new project bag. The next item is Rosina Dissery. I know you all have seen this. I know Alexis, My Amazing World, just finished it, and hers is beautiful. I really enjoyed it. I saw it in her last video, and from what I understand, she posted it on Instagram as well. But hers is gorgeous. So I've had this since February. I got it from Works by ABC on Etsy. And I am not a sampler person. I do not have any other vintage samplers that are reproductions. That's just not my thing. At least right now it's not. But this one, I'm going to do this one. This is one of the few reproduction samplers that has been recreated from a sampler actually stitched by a black girl. So that was of interest to me. So I wanted to make sure I got this one. I think the Merry Pet sampler is also one, and I do plan on purchasing that one as well. But this one is called Truth. And I think I first heard about this from Sheila on Sunshine Stitchers. She mentioned it back in February when she was working on it. And then of course, Alexis, My Amazing World. And then I also know that Denise over at Black Ribbon Studio is working on it as well. So I'm looking forward to getting this one started. My problem with almost all my projects right now, you all, is finding fabric. It's just a tough go for me to pick something from the internet. So hopefully Needlework Galleria, I will get a chance to really take a look at some fabrics. But this, again, Rosina Dissery. And this is, she stitched this in 1820. So that was even during times where slavery was still in existence, and she was going to an African free school. And I believe it was in, I know it was in the East, on the East Coast, but I don't remember. I think New York, city of New York. And there's a whole pamphlet in here on the history of that young lady in this sampler. So I'm looking forward to finding some fabric and getting started on it. It does call for DMC, so I already know I have all of that. I just got to find some fabric that I like. I want to do something hand-dyed, something with some modeling on it. I'm trying to break out. So that's why I'm going to choose wisely what fabric I want to use for that one. The next one came from Etsy as well. Hollis Hand Creates. This is sweater weather. And I just thought this was so cute for the fall and to go into winter, really. Excuse me. But this is sweater weather. The designer on this is October House Fiber Arts. And I just thought that was so cute. And I am going to do it in a pillow. It calls for a variety of hand dyed threads, General Arts, Weeks, and Classic Colorworks. I have a few of them. I'm trying to get more, and I think I have a fabric that this will work on. I believe the sample was done on parchment linen, but I'm going to do it on an even weave. But I really like this. I thought it was just so cute, the little sweaters on there. But I got this from Hollis Hand Creates on Etsy. All right, you all. I really appreciate those of you that reached out to me about needlework shops on my way to vacation. Okay. I believe, let me look at my notes and see, Marie, she mentioned the Silver Needle in Tulsa, Oklahoma. So that's where I ended up being able to go. I did not get to go to the Stitching Niche, which is in Arlington, Texas. They're only open, they're not open on Sundays. And the only free day I was gonna have in Texas before we left to go out of town was going to be Sunday. And so we weren't going to get there in time on Saturday because I think they closed at like 4 and we didn't get there until almost 6. So I appreciate those of you that reached out to me about maybe possibly meeting me there. I couldn't do it. So I thought, maybe I could talk my husband into stopping at the Silver Needle when we go through Tulsa off 44 on the way home. We were going back Saturday, the 25th. And I think I had talked him into it. Yeah, we're gonna stop. And then we realized that the kennel, we had to pick up the dog. The kennel was going to close at I think 5. We thought it didn't close till 6. And then we were like, oh, well, even if we don't make it, we can pick him up on Sunday. They're not open on Sunday. And we did not want Max sitting at the kennel all weekend, and then we wouldn't be able to get him till Monday morning. He would have been like, I'm running away. Okay, so, and he's never been at the kennel that long. I think the most he's been there is maybe 4 days. So we were like, nah, we better get back. So we were pushing it. I still stopped at the Silver Needle, you all, but I was in that store for a grand total of 15 minutes. And you all have to understand, my husband, once he gets on the road, he does not like to stop. We bring snacks galore because we don't know when he gonna stop. When we stop for gas, everybody goes to the bathroom because we don't know what babe is gonna do. So to make sure we're not uncomfortable or suffering later, we just go on and roll with it. You all, I've been with him 20 years. He has not changed. I love him, but he does not like to stop. And really, can I complain? I'm not having to do any of the driving. So I've just learned, just roll with it, let it go. So yes, we pulled up at the Silver Needle. I believe it was 11:15. He was sending my daughter in the store to see how much longer I was going to be at 11:30. And I didn't even say nothing. That's, like I said, I love him, but that's how he is. And I've accepted it. Because at least I didn't have to drive. I got all kind of stitching done, you all, in the car. So let me tell you what I did manage to find in that 15 minutes. The first thing I went and got, I found the Country Cottage Needleworks and the Little House Needleworks. I had some of their patterns that have been on my list. And I said, I know they got that. So I found them and I got the Country Cottage Needleworks Sampler of the Month for June. I'm going to start with June. I don't have any of these. I saw Kimberly on the Fat Quarter Shop had done all of them, but she had put them in their own individual frames. Cute frame. I loved her frame. But my plan is to do them all and then have one frame and just switch it out every month. That would just cut down on storage and things like that. I could probably fit them all in a shoebox or something like that. And then just every month switch it out with the same frame. So that frame is probably going to be a neutral color, probably white. Okay. But I just really like this little design. I think it's got some little pies on there at the bottom, but it's cute. It's very cute. So that is the Sampler of the Month by Country Cottage Needleworks, and this is June. And I'll just, after I get that one done, I'll just keep going. But I got to decide what fabric I'm going to do them on because I want them done all on the same fabric. The next one is another series by Little House Needlework, and this is the Hometown Holiday series. My plan is to do these all on one piece of fabric. And I just started off with two. I have My House, Hometown Holiday, and then I also picked up the Quilt Shop for obvious reasons. I think there's a florist, a bookstore, cafe, all kinds. I'm not going to do them all. There were a couple of them on my I don't need to do that. So I'm going to pick the ones that I really want to do. And then once I decide how many that is, I'm going to try to make it an even number because I want it to be at least 2 rows. And then I'll go from there. I'll just decide on a fabric and start stitching them. So those are my 3 patterns that I got in my 15 minutes. And then the last thing, and actually this is the first thing I headed towards. You all, if you have not been to the Silver Needle, it is a big shop. It is my understanding they are one of the vendors that is going to be at Needlework Mania here in St. Charles in September, October timeframe, which I was glad to hear because I did not get to see as much as I wanted to see. But the very first thing I did was head straight to the fabric section because that's what I need. And I just said, let me see what you got that's neutral. There was only 2 ladies there working, and one of them was already helping another lady. And you can't just go up to the fabric and start pulling it off the shelves yourself and look at it. So I had to wait until another young lady was free, and she was assisting me, but I didn't really have enough time to really look like I needed to. So we went with something neutral. This is a 28 count ooh, I'm not focusing today, mushroom, Lugana. And I got a fat half, okay, a fat half. And this is neutral enough that I can use it on a variety of different things. I'm thinking I'm gonna do sweater weather on this. And I thought about you all doing Rosina Dissery on it, but I wanna hand dye for that. So I'm not gonna use this for that. I could, because I got a fat half, but I think I'm gonna hold off and see if I can find something else that I really would prefer to use for that, okay? So that was my Silver Needle haul. It is a big store, lots and lots of samplers. And like I said, I'm not really into a lot of samplers, and I know they had other things. I just did not have time to dive into them. But I know I'm going to be able to stop there now that I know exactly where it is. My husband knows I'm going to want to stop there. I think I'll be able to stop there any other times that we are on our way to Texas. And I do plan to go to the stitching niche. Now, I did look it up and I kind of got a general idea of where it is. It's not far from my sister-in-law at all. So I'm going to definitely try to go there as well. Okay. All right. What else do I have to show as far as haul is concerned? I've got some things that I have picked out for finishing. And these items are from Target, in that dollar spot in the front of the store, and Dollar Tree, or as my daughter likes to say, $1.25. Okay, she's upset. Her $5 doesn't go as far as it used to. But I found some things there that I'm going to use for finishing. So let's get into those. I'm going to start off with the Target items first. This is the most recent one that I wanted to show, but this is a little easel. It was $5, found in the front of the store. I just thought this would be great, and you could do a flat fold or just do it as a panel and then just sit it right here on this ledge, because it's got it is an easel, and you can adjust how you want to set it up. And really, y'all, if you got somebody handy in your house, you can make this yourself. All it has is this kind of butterfly clip up here, and you can loosen and tighten it. I'm not sure why you would want to take it apart, but they make it so you can. But $5. I'm probably going to paint it. And then you can use that if you had a series that you want to display, something that was seasonal. You could very easily sit it on that. This item also came from there for $5. This is just one of those little shelves. I just grabbed it. I thought I could put anything on that. It has some holes for hanging on the back, so you could just mount it somewhere and then change out what you put on it from time to time. That's also from Target. These next two are also from Target, and they were both $3. I thought this would be cute for a laundry room. Okay, it's just a washboard. And this is a chalkboard up here, but you could very easily put a piece of stitching in there. You can mount a piece of stitching here or in both. So I thought that was pretty cute, $3. And then this one is also from Target. Just a plain plank piece of decor. You can just very easily mount something in there. So again, simple, $3. I don't know what I'm going to do with them yet, but I just wanted to have something simple that I could use. This next item is from Hobby Lobby. It was during the Easter time, so I don't know if they would have any right now, but they may have them next year. But these little charcuterie boards. This side has some carrots on it, but I plan to just take that and use the back side. Black side is plain. But that would be cute for a little kitchen item. And that was, I think it was half off when I got it, so it was only a couple of bucks. This is another piece. These next pieces came from $1.25 Tree. Just a plain piece of wood that you could very easily mount something to. I really like this one. Kind of a palette look. It already has a hanger on it. Dollar Tree. And then this one is similar to some of the things we've been seeing. Okay. Put it down in the basement. But this is a little chalkboard. Let me get the glare off. Got a lot of glare today. But the back is also plain. So you can just put something on the back, or you can put something on both sides and sit it to where, depending on where you are in the room, you can see one side or the other. Or if you want to put one season on one side or 1 month on one side, you can flip it and show the other side. So I really like those. It is July, and I know a lot of us as stitchers are working on Christmas in July. So I'm going to get started on a few things that may or may not get finished by Christmas, but I at least wanted to get them started. I have a couple of smalls and one big chart. So let me show you those real quick. These small charts, the first one I'm going to do is the Prairie Schooler Santa. I'm going to make him a Blanta, or a black Santa. Okay, I'm going to darken his skin tone up a little bit. And obviously the reason I picked this one because he's got a needle and he's stitching. There's also one that quilts, and then another one that is sewing on a sewing machine. Those are the 3 that I plan to do. I don't have the other 2 yet, but I do have this one, and so he is first. This is 2004 Santa. So I'm looking forward to getting started on him. And I'm going to try to find a fabric. I've got this potato Lugana that I have pulled for this next one, and I think I have some more of that. I'm trying to decide, am I going to use it? But we'll see. I do need to pick a fabric, but I've got all of the threads. This next one is another Little House Needleworks. This one is baked goods, and I like this one because it doesn't necessarily have to be Christmas. I think the gingerbread man and this kind of poinsettia here makes it more Christmassy, but I really like it. You all know how I feel about food. So this is baked goods, Little House Needleworks, and I have a piece of 28 count Lugana, not Lugana, yes, potato Lugana that I have picked out to do that on. And while I was at the Silver Needle, I found the mulberry Gentle Arts thread that I've been looking for to do this one. That's the only thread I think I was missing. Yeah, everything else was DMC, and I was just missing the mulberry. So I have it now, so I can get started on that one at any time. And here's my Christmas project bag that I'm housing those in. And then the next one is another Teresa Wentzler horse. This is the Christmas horse, Chestnut. And as you can see, I got it on a super sale back in the day. I think this one, yep, this one came from Lee Ward's. And I think at the time, this was one of the few that I did not have yet. So this is Chestnut. He's got some mistletoe and he looks more Christmassy than the others. So that's how I'm going to stitch him up. I already have like an ivory or antique white even weave that I got from Michael's that I'm going to do him on. I've already serged it. It's ready to go. And I've already pulled most of the DMCs, but let me show you this. I'm putting him in my strawberry bag for now. I took my Haid out of this, and now I'm gonna put him in here since it's a pretty big bag. But I made this to go with my strawberry bag. And I know you all have different versions of this that you can purchase on Etsy or even the patterns, but I kind of made this one up myself. This holds 20 floss bobbins, and I made it to match my strawberry bag. It has a loop up here if I wanted to use a scissor fob and attach my scissors. It's got a clear plastic pouch here in case I want to throw anything in there if I got to pack up quickly. And then there's 20 places for bobbins on the front. I kind of made this up as I went, but I did not want to make the individual pockets myself. So what I did, this is a floss pocket that has a 3-ring binder on it. I don't know which side had the 3. I think the 3 rings are actually hidden up here underneath my fabric. But I finished it the same way I finished all of my other vinyl project bags. But I just thought that was an easy way to do the pockets. I just found a pack of them. You can find the floss pockets over by the embroidery floss in Joann's. And I believe it's a Joann's brand of floss pockets. And I believe they come 5 in a pack. So if you're interested, I would be happy to do a tutorial on how I did this. And the next one I make, I'm going to include some flannel on the back, because as we all know, that thread attaches easier to the flannel. So if you're on a plane, if you're in the car, you can put your thread that you're not using from the bobbin and lay it on there so it doesn't go flying. Okay, so I just thought this was pretty cute, and it was a very easy make. And like I said, it holds 20, which is great because on Chestnut, that's how many flosses it uses. So that's perfect. And we all have those smaller designs that don't call for a lot of threads. And so I like this better than the rings in keeping the floss for the project. And this one, I made it to fit inside of this size bag. So again, if you're interested, I would be happy to do a tutorial on how to do it. It was not difficult at all. And I don't know if I showed you, I found some strawberry charms. So just some little strawberry charms that I added. I'm going to share with you my 3 WIPs. The first one comes from this magazine, which is the December 2004 issue of McCall's Quilting. This is a bow tie block quilt. Okay, one of the goals I have for my home is to have a quilt on every bed. So this is the first candidate. Okay, I believe this particular quilt called for 80 blocks in order to complete a 90 by 107 size quilt. So basically queen king size. So I'm just going to go through some of these blocks. These blocks measure 8 inches in diameter, and I have decided, or rather my son has claimed this as his quilt, and I'll show you why in just a second. So a very simple block. Basically it's 2 squares and then 2 non-print squares, and then you do kind of like the half square triangle technique on just the corner, and then you just sew all 4 blocks together. This particular block is what I have done all of my Christmas decor around. I have a Christmas tree skirt and some stockings that I made out of this fabric. You may recognize this as being that project bag. And this is why my son has claimed this quilt, because of the Spider-Man. Okay, and I did kind of fussy cut Spider-Man a bit so he would fit. And then on the other block, we have the Grinch. Okay, so he loves both of them. So that is why he says, I want that one, Mommy. And so this one will be his when it is complete. So let me just go through a few more blocks. So you get the idea. I currently have 77 of these blocks complete. So I am ready to put them together, probably in a larger twin size for Trent. Okay. This next quilt is my favorite half square triangles. You will see here I have 90 blocks, and these blocks measure 6.5 inches square. And I have not decided on a layout for these yet, but as you can see, I have quite a few blocks and I have some extra squares done here. This is a tan Kona from Joann's is what I'm using as the other half of the block. So I'll just flip through some of these real quickly. So you get the idea, okay? Mostly red with a little bit of white, maybe some other colors thrown in. And I kind of had laid these out on my design wall to see how I want to do them, but I have not made a final decision. So that's my red and tan half square triangle blocks. The last quilt I have to show you is almost finished. It is actually a quilt top, and this is 42 8-inch Bonnie and Camille Moda Whirl Gig blocks. So let me show you these blocks. So this is the Whirl Gig block. I did sash them this time. I normally don't sash, but I feel like this needed something, and I made this from 2 charm packs. So that kind of limited how big I could make it, so that's why I added the sashing to make it a little bit bigger. And like I said, it's 56 by 56, so that will end up being a throw quilt. I don't know where it's going to go, probably on the couch, but I really like this block. It's very simple. Basically, you just put your solid print next to your other print, and then you mark where you want to sew, and then you draw a line and then just sew on that line. And it's the same for each block. You can cut 2 at a time, okay? So you can do all 4 of your blocks for the 1 block at one time. So it's a very simple block to do. I know I got the instructions off of Pinterest, so feel free to look there. If I find the exact tutorial I used, I will post it. But this is the usual Bonnie and Camille red. Okay, they have a very distinctive red, along with some turquoise colors, which I really like. And lots of florals, polka dots, okay, all kinds of prints. So I'm going to show you the actual quilt unfolded. All right, we're going to unfold this quilt so you can see the full thing. This is the Whirl Gig Bonnie and Camille by Moda, and this is Trenton. He's going to hold this for me. He's 10. So you take the side on top. So this measures 56 by 56. Hold your end up. There you go. Yep, that's good. That's good. So you can see it's a wide variety of prints. Here, let's turn it so they can see the ones at the bottom. Florals, polka dots. Take this. Lots of shades of pink, green, and turquoise. Hold your side up. There you go. That's okay. Pull it. Pull it. There you go. Right. So that's the Whirl Gig. And again, it's sashed, just a general print. Here, let's step closer so you all can see. But it's headed to my mom for quilting. All right. Thank you. You're welcome. Hopefully you enjoyed seeing those quilt whips. The Bonnie and Camille quilt, this is going to be the back. This is just a little bit more of that floral bliss. I had some yardage, so that is what I'm going to use. The finished quilt is going to be 56 by 56, so it is going to be a throw size. And then I also plan to have a scrappy binding. I love scrappy bindings. I just like to combine, especially if it was a scrappy quilt to begin with, I enjoy doing scrappy bindings. So that is my plan for my quilt whips. Again, I'm just trying to get some stuff together so when I go to this apartment, I will have everything available to me to finish some projects, and so I can still feel like I'm being productive even though I don't have all of my things with me. So I'm glad you all, or I hope you all enjoyed that one, and I'm glad you all enjoyed my quilt whips from last time. Like I said before, my philosophy about quilt whips is completely different from my cross stitch. I don't mind having a lot of quilt whips. That way I can work on what I want to work on when I want to work on it. So I just wanted to give a few shout outs towards the end of this video. I especially wanted to thank Amber. She is with the Witchy Woman shop on Etsy. She sent me some vintage Christmas charts via email. So they are digital, and I just printed one of them out, but this is a 50s Christmas by Witchy Woman, and I will put her information up on the screen. But this is the design that she sent me, very cute, and she said she thought I would enjoy the darker skin tones on her designs, and I do. That is very cute. So thank you so much, Amber. I appreciate you reaching out and sending those to me. And like I said, I will put her information on the screen as well as in the description below. So you can go and check her out. She is a Witchy Woman on Etsy. So thanks again, Amber. The next person I wanted to shout out is Lauren with Flossabilities. Lauren is in the UK, and she shouted me out right as I was uploading my last video. So I wanted to make sure I was not remiss and thank her for mentioning me in her video. And then Black Ribbon Stitch Studio. Denise, I have been a viewer of hers for some time. She has a wide variety of projects like myself, and I enjoy watching her. So thank you, my sister, for shouting me out on your channel. I appreciate you so much and look forward to seeing more from you. You are a resilient woman, and I have peace and blessings to you in your new journey, in your new place. So thank you again for thinking of me and mentioning me on your channel. The last person I want to shout out is Daydream Stitcher, Mary. She has a Flosstube channel that she mentioned me on a couple of weeks ago. She is a very prolific stitcher as well, and I enjoy her channel. So thank you so much, Mary, for shouting me out. I appreciate you so much, and I enjoy watching you as well. So, Needlework Galleria. Ladies and gentlemen, I haven't gotten a ticket yet because I don't know when they're going to go on sale. They had on their website that tickets would be available for purchase at the end of June. Well, here we are, the first week of July. So I'm just patiently waiting. Hopefully nothing has gone wrong. But if you go to the Needlework Galleria website, which I will put down below, they have a number of classes that have been put up. And like I said, Rosewood Manor, the Silver Needle shop, those are just some of the people that are going to be there. I have heard, I've had people reach out to me via Instagram and here on YouTube saying it's a great event, very similar to Nashville Market like I thought. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to take off that Friday, okay? So I will probably go Friday and Saturday. And again, I'm going to work on, once they finalize everything, work on, see if we can get a meetup for those people that would like to do so. I think Needleberry Stitcher reached out to me and she wanted to know if I was going. So hopefully she and I will hook up before then, but we'll definitely hook up at that time because we are St. Louis Stitchers. And thank you to all of the St. Louis Stitchers that reached out to me in the comments. You all, I enjoyed reading your comments so much. So many of you said that hey, I'm gonna get out some of these old WIPs that I've got, or I've never even started this project, but I have this chart. I'm gonna get it out. And I appreciate that feedback. I appreciate all of your feedback. I would love for you all to continue. Let me know what you would like to see. And I just look forward to bringing more to you in the coming months. Okay, I am going to do my giveaway. I have a few things. I have 4 things. Is it 4? 5 things. 5 things. And the first thing I wanted to show you, and you all know the drill with giveaways, be 18 so I can request your address, be a subscriber, like this video, and do not mention the word giveaway or any of those other trigger words that the spammers and the gold diggers like. Okay, we want people that are subscribers and Flosstube watchers to get the giveaways. So the first thing I want to give away is, since it's travel season, it's summertime, these are my favorite folding scissors. These are Fiskars. Okay, and it even says on the front that they are TSA compliant. I have 2 pairs of these. As a matter of fact, I brought one of my pairs in here so you can see what it looks like unfolded. Okay, the handles are very comfortable, folds very easily. Okay, it doesn't do all that clicking and carrying on. But the main thing I like is you all look at that blunt tip on it. Okay, there have been many times where I'm on the plane or I'm in the car or I'm waiting after practice and my daughter walks up, she's ready to go, and I just shove everything in the bag. Well, these nice blunt tips keep you from puncturing your project or your bag. So I really like that about them. So they are a 4-inch. It says they're a 4-inch blade, but it seems a little short to be 4 inches. But that's what TSA compliance is, 4 inches or less on the blade of your scissors. So for those of you that have asked that question in the past, that is the requirement. This is another pair of scissors that I have. I just thought I'd show. But unlike the Fiskars, they are more pointy. I actually keep these in my purse. That way, if I forget my Fiskars, I've at least got a backup. But these are tiny, and they even have a little hole if you want to put them on a keychain. But same thing on the Fiskars. See, they have a little hole there. So if you want to attach them to a keychain or something, you can definitely do that. So that is the first giveaway. The key word, so if you want to be entered in the giveaway for the Fiskars fold-up scissors, the key word to put in your comment is scissors. Okay, so that's the first one. The next one is I'm giving away my copy of Friendship Begins. I'm finished with it, so I would like to pass it on to one of you if you'd like it. I think the only writing on it is I put my name on the back, but I'll cover that up with a sticker. So if you would like to have Lizzie Kate Friendship Begins, enter the keyword friendship if you would like this one. And the last 3 are all project bags. So I have 3 different sizes, a couple different styles. So the first one is a strawberry bag. This one measures about 7 by 10, but it has the strawberries, the chocolate covered strawberries on the inside, and then all of the strawberries on the back. Green zipper. Okay, so the key word for the strawberry bag is strawberries. The next one is another project bag, but this one does not have the vinyl on the front. The inside is just red, and the outside is a quilt or sewing motif. Okay, this looks like many of our craft rooms, so I thought you all would appreciate that. This one measures about, this is about 13 by 11 or 12. Okay, it's got the refusible fleece on the inside. So this is the next project bag giveaway, and the keyword for that one is sewing. And this is the last one. This one this is another vinyl front. It measures 14 by 11. I put a little pearl zip fob on there with the striped fabric on the outside. The inside is this girl power. It says things like beautiful, self-love, you are braver than you think, all kinds of positive and lifting edification for us ladies. The future is female, but the back is my favorite part. Look at all those divas. And I've made the front top black and white stripe like her skirt. But all different shades and tones of divas. So this is the final project bag, and the keyword for this one is lipstick, since it had all those lipsticks on there. So again, follow the criteria, and I will pull, or I will do the random comment picker or whatever it is. We're gonna give that a shot. I'm gonna do that before my next regular video. Hopefully my next video that I have up will be the Heaven and Earth Designs videos. So in your comments this next week or two, if you all would be so kind as to answer some questions for me when you are entering for the giveaway, okay? Have you ever done a Heaven and Earth design? If you have not, but you want to, why haven't you? Okay, especially if you have any of the designs. Why haven't you started one yet? And then what do you want to know about doing a Heaven and Earth design or a full coverage project? What are some details that you feel like you're missing, or you wish you knew, or if you have any advice for other people who have not done one and you have successfully completed one? What advice would you have for somebody? So if you would be so kind to include that in your comments, and any other questions or anything that you all have, please include them down below. I read them all, okay? And I have enjoyed reading them over the last 4 weeks. Hopefully my next video won't be this far out, but with this whole move coming up and then next month school starting back up, we'll just have to see. Hit the notification button. That way, no matter when my next video is up, you will be the first to see it. Okay? So I have enjoyed being with you today. I can't wait to be back with you again. Thank you so much for your kind words and your encouragement. I look forward to being with you again soon. Please like, subscribe, share, and you can follow me on Instagram, CoryCreates 08, and I will see you next time. Be safe out there, keep cool, and be blessed.